Hey, you guys, it's Jenny, and we are going to wait a few minutes to get started. I had some complications getting going today with my setup, but everything's cleared up now, so forgive me my technical difficulties. Every once in a while that happens. So I'm going to give it a few minutes before we get started here and see if anybody else clicks in really quick. We'll just give it a few more minutes before we get rolling here. Today is our Kundalini class, our Kundalini Yoga class, and we're going to be doing Kundalini for balancing our head and our heart. And it's kind of a short set, but it's pretty intense. So we're going to be using quite a lot of energy for it today. So that's what we're going to be doing this afternoon. And then we're going to be doing some mantra to follow that up. It's about 6:04. You know, it's so strange how this thing will only let me put a post if it's so many minutes in the future. So if I'm having technical difficulties, it creates even more of a backup. So I'm so sorry about that. Okay, we'll go ahead and get started kind of chit-chatting about what's going to be going on in class today. So like I said, we're going to be doing Kundalini Yoga for balancing the head and the heart. And honestly, I never like really utilizing the word balancing because balancing means that we're achieving this, you know, perfect state of being, like that's balanced perfectly. And really, I think it's more about alignment and aligning different energies to our energetic being. We're aligning ourselves to the vibration of the thing that we're seeking, right? So whatever the mantra, the practice, whatever it is, that's what we're seeking to align ourselves to. And that was actually is gonna segue into kind of like that little thought that I had for us today. I always kind of like to start our classes with something to chew on so that we can have that new perspective or new thought or expansion within old belief systems or things of that nature that we potentially held in the past that had limitations that kept us from accessing higher places within our being. And that's just talking about our daily practice and how important our daily practice is. And so many of us, you know, in society that we live in, it's all about the go, 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 hustle, do what you need to do to take care of making the money and doing all of these things. And we put a little value on taking care of ourselves and ensuring that we are investing in our own being to the degree that's going to allow us to be sustainable and that's going to allow us to be able to continue to give and to do and to function at the level that we need to function at. And that's why our practice is so important. And in last week's Kundalini Yoga class, you know, we kind of touched on the fact that it's so important to give our practice time. So like when we start a new Kriya, we start a new practice, or we're doing a, you know, new thing, we want to give it, like you'll see in Kundalini Yoga how they have like 40-day Kriya or 40-day sadhana that you do for this specific kind of energy that you're trying to align your being to and introduce that energy into the vibration of who and what you are. 40-day, you'll see 90-day, 180 days, 1,000 days. And the whole point of doing these different lengths of sadhana, different lengths of daily practice, is to give that thing time, whether it be a mantra, whether it be a practice, a posture, a movement, whatever it is, that time that it needs to align to our being. So we have to give ourselves time to align to that thing. It's not going to happen overnight. There could potentially be things that do just very quickly move and shift because they were ready for that initial movement of energy, that opening up of space. But that's not always going to be true. Sometimes it's going to take that 40 days, that 90 days, that 180 days to align our energy into that space, to release the limitations within our being that we have created through those outdated belief systems, those old ways of engaging in the world, so that we can create new space for new stuff to exist. And that's pretty much what, we're doing when we're engaging in our practice. We're looking to align ourselves to different energies. I'm looking at the different meanings of different mantras, different mudras, different breath works, different movements, different postures. When I find one that I feel like I need to feel my highest and best sense of self, and that's where we learn to trust our intuition to guide us towards what are the energies that I need to align myself to right now to access my highest and greatest good. What is it that I need? That's how I always look at it. And then I don't sit there, that's for me, like, I don't sit there and ask for it through prayer every day. I don't do that. I invest my time in aligning myself to that energy and trust that by engaging in that and investing my time and energy into that thing, it's going to align my energy to that vibration. And I don't need to ask for anything at all because I'm already doing it, right? So the daily practice is so important. And there's multiple reasons why our practice is so important, but that is one of them, so that we can learn to efficiently align ourselves to the things that we want to experience more of. When I know that this mantra represents this thing, and I know I need that thing, I can utilize that mantra, engage in my daily practice to help me access the energy of that thing. Now, I can do that for 40 days or 90 days or whatever, 180 days, and I still may not have unlocked the fullness of it because there's an integration period. I have to allow my being to integrate the energy of the thing so fully and completely that when it is time, I can actually move from that space. I'm coming from a position of alignment with that thing, right? So it's such a cool thing, and I think it's such a powerful way that we can engage in the fullest expression of who and what we are and claim our power. I don't need other people to do things for me. Divinity, God, source, great spirit, higher self, however you choose to look at that, the universe is set up in a way to fully support you in achieving the things that you want, that the heart desires, because we're co-creative manifesting beings. We just have to learn how to utilize that quality in a way that aligns us to what we want. Because a lot of times we're aligning ourselves to things we don't want. And your daily practice is that investment that's going to take you towards always accessing the highest and greatest good that is potentially there for you within each and every moment. We give those things time to totally, fully integrate. We can position ourselves from that place once they've integrated, and that's the embodiment. Then we embody the thing. It's like you take that mantra that you really want to access the fruit of whatever that is. Like if it's about, moving through old blockages of like abundance and things like that that you couldn't necessarily access before. You want that thing. You want to not have that lack mentality anymore in regards to all aspects of your life. I'm not even just talking about financially, whatever it is, and you want to access that energy of abundance. You utilize that mantra to unlock that energetic space for yourself by aligning your being to it, by using that mantra and training your being to vibrate at that same level. You're vibrating at the same level of the thing that you want. And we're doing that all the time with our attention, our thoughts, the words we speak, the way that we engage. We're constantly doing that. We're constantly manifesting. We're constantly aligning ourselves to different energies. So this is where the practice helps us to narrow our focus in on the spaces that are going to be the most meaningful for us, that we know that we need right now. I can look for the thing. And that's the cool thing about Kundalini specifically to me, is that you can look through all of these different kriyas. You can look through all of these different mantras and mudras and all of these things, and you can find what you're looking for, that you're seeking to align your being to. Health, prosperity, wellness, opening the heart space, you know, glandular alignment within our being. Like, there's so many different things that we can seek and find within that space. So I encourage you to just do your own homework, really get curious about what's out there for you, and, you know what you need. When you know what you need, you can seek the thing that you want to align yourself to. So the practice, it's for me, it's what really anchors me into every single day. It gives me the ability to align myself to the energies that I want to experience more of, takes away that monkey mind thing of like constantly being distracted by all of the stuff around me. And it gives me the focus that I need to actually live my life the way I want to live it. And that's a gift that I want you guys to give yourselves, because that is taking your power. That's claiming your power. That is engaging in life from a way that is conscious and meaningful, and co-creating from a place of knowing where you're going and what you want, what the heart's desiring, right? So we're going to get started. We're going to be an easy pose to get started here, to tune in. So just coming into that easy seat, comfortable cross-legged position. And now we're going to align our bodies and create some length in the spine, dropping the shoulders back and down, creating availability for more prana, more life force energy to come into our being, into our lungs, into our belly. When that spine is nice and straight and long, the shoulders are dropped back and down, collarbones are lifting up towards the sky, tucking the chin ever so slightly back and down. We have that nice, long, straight, energetic channel. Lengthening through the spine creates more space for more air to come in, giving the lungs more room to expand, to open up. So just give yourself a moment to sink into your breath, taking the bridge from the physical body back to the self. It's all about coming back to yourself and creating that safe space within your own being, so that that higher aspect of your being can just take over and do everything that it needs to do to fully support and uplift you today. On that inhalation, let that belly really fill up and rise away from the body. And on the exhale, drawing that belly button all the way back towards the spine, fully expelling all of that stagnant air out of the lungs, out of the body. And as you're sinking into this easy seat, just taking note of any part of your being that's contracting away from this experience today, it's contracting away from life today, it's feeling agitated, tense, and send that prana, that breath, into those areas of your being. You are so much more powerful than you realize. You have so much ability to affect the way that you feel, the way that you live, the way that you experience the entire universe. And so much of it has to do with your perception and the knowledge of your own being. Take those hands, start to rub them together pretty briskly in front of that heart space. Start to generate that heat in between the palms of the hands, greeting the pranic and aponic energies. Tuck those thumbs into the heart space, hands in prayer pose. We're going to tune in with that mantra, Om Namo Gurudev Namo, tuning into those higher aspects of our own being, calling forth your own soul space, that place that has all of that infinite ancient wisdom. Inhale deeply. Exhale fully and completely. Inhale to begin. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Inhale deeply, suspending your breath. Apply your root lock. If it's within your practice today, you're not on your moon cycle, pregnant, no hypertension, untreated glaucoma. Exhale. Release those hands. If you want to continue to tune in with the Mangala charm, creating that safe space on your mat, feel free to do so. Adgure Name, Jagadgure Name, Satgure Name, Siddhiguru Deve Name. Chant that 3 times. If not, just continuing to breathe into the body for a moment and just evaluating where you're at today. How are you feeling? What energies are moving? And then slowly and gently allowing those eyes to flutter open whenever you're ready. We're going to start off with a little bit of a warm-up here before we move into our Kriya. Like I said, it's very short, but it's very intense. So we're going to get a little bit of warmth going in our body and just prepare our being for this practice a little bit. We're going to start with our breath of fire. So we're going to inhale and draw those arms overhead at a 60-degree angle, tucking the fingertips into the pads of the hands. Thumbs are going to be directly plugged upward into the sky. Close the eyes, drawing the focus towards the third eye, in and up towards the brow point center. And we're going to pulse that navel, forcing the air in and out through the nostrils. We're not using the lungs to create this breath, but pulsing that navel to force the breath in and out of the nose. And just continuing on. And again, if you're on your moon cycle right now, pregnant, any of those other kinds of contraindications, then please use a slow, deep breath. Care for your own needs today on your mat, creating your own practice and honoring yourself above all else. Inhale, take those arms overhead, taking the thumbs to touch. Suspending the breath and apply your root lock. Exhale, super, super, super slow and gentle, grounding your energy all the way down to the earth as you release those fingers down to the mat. Take those hands, gently resting the palms on the knees. We're going to come into those spinal flexations. So we're going to take our hands and rest them on the center of our shin bones. We're going to inhale, press the heart space forward. Exhale, rounding through the spine. Inhale forward, exhale back, continuing on at your own pace. Warming up that spinal column, moving that cerebrospinal fluid into all of the nooks and crannies of the spine that allow for that fluid movement of your body, of your being, and nourishing that spinal column that's responsible for so much of our active physical being. Preserving, protecting, and investing in that space. And while you're moving through these spinal flexations, just being in such deep gratitude for everything that your spinal column is responsible for. How important that central nervous system is. Inhale back to center. Suspending your breath at the top. Apply your root lock. Exhale. Release the lock. Release those hands, gently resting them on the knees. Close your eyes if you need to for a moment, just to reconnect. And then gently and slowly, whenever you're ready, opening those eyes up. So this first exercise is probably going to be our most complicated, and it gets pretty tiring very quickly. So really try to listen to your body, never pressing into pain, tingling, or numbness, or any of those things, especially if you've had any of you folks who have had any kind of surgery, or through the chest, or through the arms or shoulders. Really do be aware of what you need to do to protect yourself during this particular exercise. If you need to stop and take a break. Keep your eyes closed, but continue visualizing yourself doing this exercise and matching the breath with the visualization of the movement, okay? And, if you have to stop, try to come back in if you can. If you can't come back in, just realizing that that visualization is just as powerful. So come into that easy seated posture. Nice, long, straight spine. And then we're going to reach those arms out to the side of the room. Fingertips can reach out to the side walls initially. And then we're going to flex those wrists, engage those meridian lines. And we're going to match our breath with our movement. We're going to inhale in the up position. Exhale, we're going to drop the fingertips towards the front wall. Inhale up and exhale back. So drop the fingertips towards the back wall. Inhale up, exhale forward, inhale up, exhale back. Your elbows are going to move just slightly in response to this particular movement, but we're not moving from the shoulders. You want to keep the shoulders drop back and down, steady and stable, so that we can achieve this movement more efficiently, okay? Inhale up, exhale forward, inhale up, exhale back. So we're going to be here for 6 minutes. So if it starts to feel really tiring and frustrating, that's okay. We push through the frustration. That's when we're coming up against those limitations and the things that we need to peel away. So let's go ahead and get started, lengthening through those arms, reach those fingertips out to the side wall, engage those meridian lines by flexing those wrists. Exhale forward, inhale up, exhale back, inhale up, exhale forward, inhale up, continuing on at your own pace. Like I said, you're going to be here for 6 minutes. When you're really feeling the pressure of these kinds of postures, it can become very frustrating. That's when we dig deep and we put even more distinction into the breath, like make the breath more powerful so that that breath can carry us through those difficult or frustrating postures. So really putting the energy into the breath and matching that movement and moving those wrists at the pace that feels the most comfortable and safe for you, that you can achieve for an extended period of time. Okay? Focusing on the breath, not the movement. Even when that starts to burn a little bit, recognizing that's just working through those stagnant energies. We're releasing those things that are no longer serving us. Consciously, again, relaxing those shoulders whenever you feel those shoulders starting to creep up towards those ears because we're feeling duress or tension or frustration. Make sure we're consciously relaxing those shoulders down all the time to carry us through this particular exercise. And remembering that you're so much stronger than you think. So much of our resistance is in our mind, that thought that we cannot continue on, that we don't have what we need to push forward. Remembering that you are so much stronger than you realize and you have everything you need inside of you to push through, pushing through the discomfort. Recognizing that this exercise changes the chemistry of the brain fluid. So we're literally changing the chemistry of the brain fluid with this particular exercise, aligning it back to the truth of our being, our highest and greatest health, wellness, emotional wellness, auric expression, that magnetic expression of our being. It's refining all of those qualities. Eyes are closed, focused on the third eye. Y'all are already more than halfway through. You only have about 2 minutes and 40 seconds left. You're doing so great. Tapping into that strength, taking breaks when you absolutely have to, but visualizing yourself continuing on with those exercising. That visualization is so powerful. Continuing to utilize the breath to the visualized movement. If you feel those shoulders getting tired, consciously relaxing them back and down, visualizing yourself releasing all of that tension, feeling it melting away from your body as you continue to put that energy into your breath, burning away all of those limitations, all of those things that are keeping you from your highest and greatest good, opening up the energetic channels between the head and the heart. They call that the longest 16 inches in the world between that head space and the heart space, because we create so much of a distance between those two areas instead of creating alignment between the two of them so that the mind is supporting the heart space, that divine expression of being. You only have 1 more minute left here. Keep it strong. Last 30 seconds. If you've come out of it and you think you can come back in for this last 30 seconds, this is the time to give it your all. Really put as much as you can into this exercise so that you can receive as much as you can back in return, investing that effort. Great job. Inhale, draw those arms overhead, reaching those fingertips into the sky. Inhale, suspend your breath and apply your root lock. Reaching through those fingertips. Exhale, super slow with grace and ease, releasing those hands all the way down into the earth, caressing your aura all the way down, smoothing over all of those edges. Gently releasing the palms of the hands, take them and rest them on the top of the knees. Close your eyes and breathing into your body, collect your energy and relax your being by attuning yourself to the meditative sound of your own breath. Slowly and gently allow those eyes to flutter open whenever you're ready. So we can come into our next exercise. For our next exercise, we're going to also reach our arms out to those side walls. This one's going to be much shorter. We're only going to be here for 2 minutes. Flex those hands and engage those meridians once again. And this time what we're going to do is we're going to inhale and we're going to draw our hands over our head. And so the first time we take them over our head, it's going to be in an arc with both arms. And it's going to be in front of the front of your head, so like over the front of the crown, just like so. Exhale down. Inhale, we're going to come up. This time we're going to switch whichever hand is in front. Let me make sure I'm telling you right. Yeah, it just says crossing over without touching. So one doesn't have to be particular. I wanted to make sure there wasn't a hand that needed to be in front particularly. And so whichever hand was in front on this side, you're going to make sure the other hand's in the front on the back side. And this is going to hover over the back of the crown of the head. Okay? So it looks like this. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. And I did not cross my hands over that time. Sorry. So just close the eyes, focusing on that third eye and continuing on with that movement. matching the breath with the movement. Use the powerful breath. You're only going to be here for 2 minutes. Moving as fast or as slow as feels comfortable to you today. Arcing those arms over the head without touching it. Use a powerful motion here. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Eyes are closed, focused on the third eye point. You're already more than halfway done, so continuing on with that forceful breath, carrying you through the exercise. Twenty more seconds, so give it all you got. Radiating through that heart space, really enlivening that heart, that place of our truth, soul space, centeredness, that magnetic resonance of our own being. Inhale. Reach those arms up into the sky. Reach, 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 like those fingertips have magnets that are drawing themselves upwards into the clouds. Suspending your breath and apply your root lock. Exhale, super, super, super slow. Releasing those arms all the way down, feeling into the energetic quality of your own being. Taking note of how does that feel? How strong? How big? Take those hands, gently resting them on the knees, keeping the eyes closed. Breathe into the body. And take a moment to be aware of your own self. Slowly and gently opening up those eyes whenever you're ready. So we're going to move into our next exercise, which was our last one. This one only has 3 exercises, but because they are a little bit more challenging, and like that second one was less physically challenging to me, but it was very mentally challenging because of thinking of, you know, the desire to sometimes overthink and then muddle the posture. So if we just give ourselves over to it and trust our being, generally what happens is we find that the body comes into sync with the posture and we don't have to overthink it. So we're going to be using the same arm movements as we did in our last exercise, but we're going to be using our crow squat with this particular posture. So this one's going to be really fun. We're going to come up into a standing position. And we're going to be here for 2 minutes. I'm going to move my camera so you guys can see me a little bit better. We're going to be here for 2 minutes. So you want those feet to be a little bit more than hips width distance apart, planted in the earth firmly, all 4 corners of both feet just firmly rooted into the earth beneath you. And when we come into our crow squat, you either want your toes to be directly forward and the knees are going to be in alignment with the toes directly forward, or if you're going to take your toes out at more of like a 45-degree angle towards the edges of your mat or the corners of your mat, you want to ensure that your knees are also turned and facing over the toes. This way we're protecting our knees and we're not going to be causing any undue stress or damage to our knee joints, okay? So if you want to come into that posture that's going to be most efficient for you to come into that squatting posture, we're going to take those arms out to the side wall, flex the wrist, inhale, arms come overhead, and then exhale, we come down, palms of the hands are flat towards the side walls, inhale up, arms come back overhead, in that arcing motion, first over the front of the crown, second over the back of the crown. We're going to be here for 2 minutes, so go ahead and stand up, come into posture. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. Continuing on at your own pace. Be as gentle as you need to be. Move as fast or as slow as is comfortable for you. Squatting and drawing yourself upright, arcing those arms over the head, first over the crown, the front of the crown, and then over the back of the crown. Closing the eyes if you can. If not, neutral gaze forward. We're going to generate a lot of heat, a lot of sweat in the body. If you're feeling that creaking in the knees, as long as you're not pressing into pain, tingling, or numbness, it's all okay. You're already 1 minute in. If you can't do these, visualization. Visualize yourself doing the movements in that easy seated posture. "30 seconds left. If you have to stop, take a break, breathe, and come back into it whenever you can. Sorry, I cannot talk and move with this one. 12 more seconds. Inhale up. Reach those fingertips into the sky. Suspend your breath. Exhale. Super slow and gentle. Release those arms down to the side of the body. Take a couple deep breaths. Come into your easy seated posture. Catch your breath. Take stock of how you're feeling. Come back in control of the breath. So strong, so powerful. Aligning the energies of the head and the heart. Opening up any blockages or limitations. Keep those two places from supporting one another. The intuitive mind resides in the heart, the soul space. It is a sacred gift. And the rational mind is a faithful servant. And Albert Einstein said that we have created a society that honors the servant and has forgotten the gift. We will not solve the problems of the world from the same level of thinking we were at when we created them. More than anything else, this new century demands new thinking. We must change our material-based analysis of the world around us to include broader, more multidimensional perspectives. That's what our practice does for us every day. Helps us to open the mind, release the blockages, allow for new perceptions, new space, aligns ourselves to that divinity that exists within each and every one of us. So we're going to do a very, very simple, basic mantra today. We're just going to utilize that word ma. You hear it a lot in Satanama. That ma meditation is very, very powerful. It's like that mother, nurturing, kind, supportive, loving energy. It's about rebirth, regeneration, resurrection, which allows us to consciously experience the joy of the infinite. So when you're utilizing this mantra, you just say it over and over and over again. You come into your easy seated posture and just draw yourself into that alignment of your own being, dropping the shoulders back and down, head hovering over the heart, heart hovering over the sits bones that are grounding you into the earth, anchoring you into this time and space. I'll sing it with you a couple times, and then I'm going to allow for you to take over so that all you can hear is your own voice echoing through the entirety of your being. And as you use this mantra, Ma, visualize yourself feeling so secure, so safe, so supported, the earth rising up to meet you in this easy-seated posture. All of the nurturing, all of the love, all of the support, all of the needs are being met. Visualizing every single cell of your being infused with that loving, supportive energy. And it's just going to sound just like this. Ma. So inhale deeply. Exhale completely. And then inhale to begin. Ma. 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 Continuing on, feeling that beautiful mantra Ma vibrating in every cell, every atom, all of the space in between. Encouraging that rebirth, that regeneration, that sustenance, that support, that love, the nurturing that you need right now, in this moment, on your mat, exactly where you are. Going to be here for just a couple more minutes. Feeling it vibrate in your face, in your mouth, in your head, in your lungs, in your chest. and the entirety of your body. All right, you're just focused inward and upward towards that place of intuition, the third eye. Thirty more seconds. Last one. Finish out this last ma, and then come back into your natural breath and close your eyes. Keep those eyes closed. Just continuing to feel into the quality of your own energy. Taking note of how it shifted from the beginning of class to now. And then slowly, whenever you're ready, make your way into your corpse pose, your final Shavasana posture, releasing your body into the earth one vertebra at a time. Use that core strength to take yourself down into that Shavasana posture. Fully prone, legs are stretched out in front of you, feet fall to the side, arms are gently resting at the side of your body. Taking note of the breath, drawing the attention back to the breath, back to the body, back to the interior of your being. And allowing yourself to relax, to release, to let go, to unwind, to unfold. I assure you that you have everything that you need within your own being to create the quality of life that you want for yourself. It's all there. It's all about becoming aware of the self. Recognizing the strengths. Recognizing where we need to be lifted. Where we can utilize our practice to strengthen those aspects of our being that need the support to draw us into that highest, most capable level of our own being. Investing the time and energy necessary for you to step into your own power. To remember that you don't need saving, you don't need the world to bend to you, you don't need other people to change for you. You just have to recognize that everything's already inside. That energetic channel to divinity is always there, always open, always ready for us to engage. And saying yes. abandoning our fear of what might be and stepping into the unknown. Stretching out our own wings and learning to fly, recognizing we don't need a net to catch us. All we have to do is to remember who and what we are and allow our spirits to soar. Now we're going to consciously draw ourselves across the bridge from the spirit back to the physical body, conscious of this time and space, conscious of yourself on your mat in the room that you're in. Beginning again to take note of the breath, awareness of your body as it moves in response to the inhalation and exhalation, the beautiful dance of the body and the breath. And then slowly beginning to move those exterior limbs, wiggling the fingers and toes. Wrapping hands around wrists, feet around the ankles if you like. And taking the stretches necessary for you to fully awaken the physical being. Those gentle cat stretches or full body stretches, opening up through the spine, through the heart. Integrating all of those energies from our practice today. And then tuck the knees into the chest. Take a moment to rock side to side and back and forth and really continue to press that cerebrospinal fluid into that spine, all of those little places that need that nourishment and lubrication of that cerebrospinal fluid. And then rocking yourself into a comfortable uprighted seated position whenever you're ready so that we can finish our practice today with 3 long Sat Nams. Take those hands into prayer pose. Anchor the thumbs into the breastbone. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. Inhale to begin. Sat Nam. Sat Nam. Sat Nam. Inhale, apply your Mula Bandha. Exhale, release the hands, release the lock. Take a couple deep breaths here, in through the nose and out through the mouth. Gently allowing those eyes to flutter open whenever you're ready. Thanks so much for joining me for practice today. I hope you guys were able to kind of recognize the importance of your daily practice and recognize perhaps where you could use some attention within your daily practice. There's some places that you need to focus for yourself to draw you towards the highest and greatest good and really claim your power. So I hope you guys have an awesome day. I hope y'all had an awesome Easter yesterday and really enjoyed your family time. And I'll look forward to seeing y'all next time.